Mahavir Jayanti is the birthday of Bhagwan Mahavira, the most recent leader or 24th Tirthankara of the Jain faith. The auspicious day falls on the 13th day of the waxing moon in the month of Jaitra. This corresponds to March or April of the Western sun calendar. What can one who was not born into the Jain faith celebrate with the birth of Bhagwan Mahavira? What can they appreciate or learn from his life? To assist with this and for the benefit of non-Jains, in this video we will represent 10 of his many aspects. Each person will find at least one of these aspects close to their own heart, which was touched upon by Bhagwan, and in turn, even in this modern world, touches them. 1. The historical figure. For historians, there is enough evidence beyond doubt of Mahavir Bhagwan's existence around 2600 years ago. 2. The revolutionary. At a time when the caste system was rife in India, Mahavira Bhagwan rose against this and preached for the equality of all. 3. The animal rights activist. At a time when animal sacrifice was often practiced, Mahavir Bhagwan was the one who said, violence to an animal or living creature is not a spiritual activity. He saved millions of animals from cruel sacrificial slaughter. 4. The environmentalist. The message of aparigraha, non-possessiveness and minimalism preached by Mahavir Bhagwan is a rare solution to the problem of global warming and population growth. There is enough in this world for each person's need, but not enough for each person's greed. Even today, saints and nuns following his path have amongst the lowest carbon footprint. 5. The women's rights activist. He signaled the importance of women to the world through the ordainment of Chandanbala. Her heroic story through all difficulties is one of the famous stories of the Jain tradition. So many women wanted to join the fourfold Sangh after this that she led a group of 36,000 sadhvis. Even today, strength, numbers and importance of women is that which is one of the biggest strengths of the Jain order. Whenever men will try to oppress women, Chandanbala will inspire women of the world to trust themselves. 6. The pacifist. Mahavir Bhagwan was the one who told the world that an eye for an eye will make the world blind. Through his whole life, and in particular the 12 years of harsh penance from age 30 to 42, we see the most extreme examples of forgiveness under all circumstances. His life embodied fighting anger with forgiveness, pride with humility, deceit with straightforwardness, and greed with contentment. 7. The philosopher. Be careful, Gautam, all the while. This life is like a dewdrop hanging from a blade of kusa grass. Remain ever vigilant, not giving in to carelessness even for a moment. It is better to win over the self than to win over a million enemies. The rich treasure trove of philosophy and parables given by Mahavir Bhagwan will continually inspire. 8. The philanthropist. 1 year before taking Diksha, monkhood and giving up everything, Mahavir Bhagwan gave away huge amounts of wealth to all who came daily. 9. The yogi. In the 12.5 years of spiritual conquest, Mahavir Bhagwan slept in total for less than a day. He meditated free from sin and desire, not attached to sounds, colours, and never acted carelessly. Being averse from the impressions of the senses, he spoke very little and was always calm. He kept fasts Sometimes he ate only the 6th meal, or the 8th, or the 10th, or the 12th, and sometimes he did not drink for half a month, or even 6 months. 10. The scientist. As two examples, in the breadth of biology, he talked about life in one sense and plants, as well as classification and development of life over 2,500 years ago. In the sphere of physics, he talked about anekanta, from which we now have Einstein's theory of relativity. The day of Mahavir Jayanti can be considered the physical birth of Bhagwan Mahavira. He was born in 599 BCE in Kshatrikund, Vaishali, within Bihar, eastern India. Even today, these locations exist as very spiritually charged parts of the world. One would meet Jain saints following 5 Mahavrats, or 5 great vows of absolute non-violence, to the extent they don't even use vehicles or electricity to avoid harming even the one-sensed beings from the 8.4 million possible species. They also follow absolute truth, absolute non-stealing, absolute celibacy, and absolute non-possessiveness. The radiance and purity of this conduct can be felt in their aura. This is the legacy of Bhagwan Mahavira and other forward-bearers or Tirthankaras. According to Jainism, the concept of God is as a leader rather than a supernatural being. Each person is believed to have the potential to attain what Bhagwan Mahavira attained. It is believed the spiritual birth of a Tirthankara is many lifetimes before the actual final birth, and originates with the auspicious feeling of the deepest conviction, Jo hue mujhe shakti aisi, sabvi jeev karu shasan rasi. If I have the strength, I want to give every life form that knowledge and path which will give them absolute happiness forever. On this occasion of Mahavir Jayanti, let us celebrate the birth of any and all good thoughts, words, and actions that may originate within us, and let us make a wish that only positivity emanates from the womb of our mind and even deeper, the seed of our soul.